Hey Clark, with you guys kind of bumping up the against the 85 man limit, how did the discussions evolve or the thinking evolve since December in terms of how many guys you could take, how many guys you wanted to take, and being able to build out this class perhaps a little bit more than you thought you were going to be able to, back on early signing day.
Well, we obviously understand kind of the landscape of college football now too, where I think roster numbers and the 85, it's going to be something that you're constantly monitoring and having awareness of. What we do is we would never want to surprise anybody or to run up against a situation where you don't have room, and so you have honest conversations and you're out in front of the communication. But the 85 as it stands right now versus the 85 as it'll be in spring versus the summer versus the fall. I mean, it's just I think the landscape requires that we're constantly putting attention to it, and so feel good about where we are and feel good about how we've positioned ourselves that way. And we were obviously really glad to be able to add some talented players and feel good about the future heading forward.
Aria?
Clark, what went into the decision to take 3 quarterbacks in this year's class?
Well, we wanted to have 5 on the roster. We feel like competition is important, and that position in and of itself is so important. So we wanted the opportunity for iron to sharpen iron, and for for us to have guys battle it out. We feel like we got 3 really talented players in the class, 3 that have unique skill sets and really leadership in their DNA. And with Walter specifically, because he signed today, we felt like it was just too talented to pass up on him. He's got a lot of upside, and we feel like an undervalued guy that we're excited to have be a part of this. So competition's a great thing. That position's so important. We want for guys to be able to battle it out and to make each other better. And I think Ken and Mike have experienced that as well.
Chris Lee.
Yeah, can you give us the backstory on Walter, who found him, how you got involved, timelines, those sort of things, please?
Well, we have obviously Barton's staff works hard to harvest a lot of players that maybe aren't on the radar nationally, and so B. Jones and Box and Smoke Dixon, those guys do a great job, making sure that we have eyes on everyone who's out there that fits our profile, right? That have we love the length, the athleticism, and the kind of the raw material we've talked about that we feel like is developable into SEC caliber and NFL caliber talent. With Walter in particular, that evaluation got to Joey, and Joey kind of just became transfixed on the skill set, just feeling like Walter's a unique talent that again has a lot of upside and a ton of athleticism. He's big, and when you watch him play, I mean, he's effortless. So Joey built that relationship, and we quickly identified that Walter was built for this program. He has all the character traits that we're looking for as a young man, and his family, and the support that he has back home, and that kind of took off from there. And so that the specifics of the I can't remember when we first started talking about, but I want to say it was in the fall, and that's where he kind of came into our radar.
Robby.
Yeah. So you mentioned, you said that that was in the fall. With, obviously it feels like he can throw the ball like 70 yards down the field and just gun it down there. So, talent aside, what was the conversation like with Drew Dickey and AJ Swan, who's, probably originally signed up to, be part of a 2 quarterback class. But, did that happen before they signed? And, I mean, there has been some criticism about that. So what's your response to that?
Yeah, always communicative, always, keeping guys in the loop. Those guys never flinched. They're competitive. They believe in themselves. They also, are excited to play together and to support each other. They ultimately have the confidence to go after what they want. But I think Joey did a great job keeping everyone in the loop, and that's kind of a hallmark of the program. So those guys never flinch. They're great competitors. They believe in themselves, and they're excited to come in here and go to work.
I wanted to ask about Jameson Wharton. It seems odd that he flew under the radar so much with his track times and everything like that. How did you guys find out about him? Was your cousin a part of that? And what do you think of him? Because that's an interesting story.
Well, we're obviously, we love the speed, and it's a measurable trait. We know he can run. We think he has length, and you also see someone who's just got an underdeveloped frame that, we want to go to work immediately and trying to build that out. James, being my cousin, helps. He kind of kept Jameson on my radar, and as we reached kind of the second portion of recruiting, we felt strongly that he has what it takes to be an SEC corner. And we know that and Jameson knows that he's got, again, some room to grow and some things that need to happen for him to position himself to be effective on Saturdays. But when you spend time with him and you're around him and his family, like, he's a go-getter. He's got bright eyes. He's got a sense of urgency about going after what he wants. And like I said, we want to fill the roster with guys that can run with length and range, and we know he can do that. And so we were excited to add him to the class here late.
Chris Lee.
Yeah, Leighton Nelson was a big get for you guys. Position in need. You beat, I guess, a lot of schools on that one. Just tell us the story of how you landed him.
That was relationship. We were, again, laid in on him. But Blas did a nice job of like fostering that relationship. Leighton and his mom took an unofficial visit here where we had a chance to spend some time with him. And then, we went to see him in Orlando. And I think obviously we're thrilled to have Leighton. We think he has, again, length and athleticism, and can be a great player for us on the edge. But this is one where he connected with the program at a level of, us focusing on the things that are most important: the relationships, the honesty, the just the connections that are built, that feel like that make Vanderbilt distinguished in terms of a focus on of the things of substance. And that spoke to he and his family, and it really made it a great fit, and one, again, that we were thrilled to kind of battle through and win at the end. We think he's going to be a great player, and he needs time to develop like they all do. But I was pleased with that addition, and again, I think we got a great fit.
Robby.
With Andrew Paige, who would you compare him to? Maybe not even at Vanderbilt, because it sort of doesn't seem like, even though you recruited a lot of guys for that spot, maybe you don't have a player exactly like that on the roster. And then also, how intriguing does his basketball background, being a really good basketball player, make him?
Yeah, I think, Robby, it's in the same vein. Like, we see not just the talent that he is, but like we really project him to grow. He's a guy that's early on his football career, so still learning the game, and has the ability to be electric. We got to build out his frame. We have to, give him some time to really form the niche that he'll be on the team. But we think that we have a guy that's got skill to be a great receiver, that's got a frame that can be a blocker and can be disruptive on the edge that way. And certainly watching him play basketball and the flashes of athleticism, that's exciting to us too. And so with a local player that we feel like has a huge upside, that was looking for what Vanderbilt has to offer, and it made a lot of sense for us. And I think what you're seeing now is kind of those hybrid body types and those hybrid positions that it's a way to create matchups. It's a way to create advantage for the offense, and we think Andrew will grow into that for us too, and he'll need some time to develop, but we're excited about what the future holds for him.
It almost seems like Jeffrey Ugo is sort of the defensive version of that player, and that he could play a lot of spots. What do you envision for him positionally?
Well, I think on defense, you're looking again that range and speed, right? And we recognize that as a deficiency, and we know we have to account for that, both in the way we focus on the development of our roster that is now, and also the way we recruit moving forward. To play defense anymore in the secondary is about having corner skill, like having coverage ability. And Jeffrey gives us that. He's also very physical, closes spaces rapidly and tackles well. And so, I could see him doing a lot of things, Robby, honestly. I mean, you look at the corner position, and particularly the corner position as it plays in space. You look at nickel, you look at like field safety and all the space that's out there to fill up and to have to tackle in. He's a guy that could he's kind of a plug and play. And we're the more guys that we can add like that, the more we can be creative in designing personnel groupings and really getting the best 11 on the field. And that's the goal. And so, Jeffrey was a no-brainer for us. And we think he, again, brings an attitude and a personality to that defense too that we like. And so it's exciting to have him added here in the second signing.
Any other questions for Coach? Thanks today, Coach, and thank you for joining everybody.
Good to see you guys. It's been a long time.
Thanks.
Back at it. Y'all take care.
Hope to see you in the spring.
Thank you.
Have a great day.